This is being brought to you by Midnight Triple Feature. This podcast will contain adult language and spoilers.
Midnight Triple Feature.
.blogspot.com.
Hello? Look, if this is some kind of joke, I don't think it's... Please don't hurt me.
What is it?
There's someone out there.
Something's wrong.
What the hell is going on, Robert?
Hello?
I need to find my daughter.
Right, that's it, you crazy old man.
A member of staff has been killed.
Who's there? You gotta help me get out of here!
Please open the door. Who are you?
All right, welcome to this episode of Midnight Triple Feature, where we are covering the direct-to-video release, the Expelled, which was released in UK 2010, not released in the US here until 2014.
2013.
2013?
And then, yeah, it just sort of showed up one day in a kiosk, so I rented it.
Okay. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
So here to give you that information was Adam.
Hello.
Connor's here.
What's up?
I'm Mike. So this is about a group of kids who go on a murder spree inside of a school after hours.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
I mean, I guess you don't really even know if they're kids.
Well, yeah, it's never really...
It's, it's
true.
definitely
Yeah.
implied, but...
It's kids.
Yeah.
It's... The movie's called The Expelled, so they're probably...
Wasn't there like
kids.
a newspaper ad or something before that had their faces on it?
Probably. I
Yeah.
don't remember that. You mentioned a little bit about the history of it. I do want to talk... So before we get into the movie, we're going to talk a little bit about the subgenre, which is... This is sort of new to all of us, I think.
It's unique.
Of hoodie
Yeah.
horror. Which I've seen some hoodie horror movies in the past, and I sort of noticed a trend in Europe and the UK of these movies where you have youth attacking adults, and they're like out of control youth that have been allowed to just run free and do what they want, and they've been, I don't know, not parented. So some of the movies that include are like Them. There's a movie called Them about a couple that's terrorized by kids in hoodies. There's a movie called Eden Lake, which isn't as hoodie-ish, like they're in hoodies, but
It's a lack of hoodies.
Eden Lake is, I don't want to talk, we're not here to talk about Eden Lake, but they're like a lot of people, it's sort of like a divisive movie in that you either like kind of like really like it or really don't like it, and it's because of the ending, and if you ever get a chance to see it, I'd be curious what you guys think.
It's probably very similar to this movie, actually.
It's not, though, because...
I mean, divisiveness with the ending.
Yeah, right. In terms of the ending, no, Eden Lake is such a downer that it's really hard to come away from it liking the movie for that reason. It's really difficult to like it.
It's like The Mist.
It's interesting because this whole subgenre of like people being afraid of kids,
and maybe not like having any more power to like punish them.
Right, I guess
in the traditional ways or something. Is that what it's supposed to be about?
Yes, like, it's an interesting fear to have in society where you're
because that's what this
movies.
movie's all about.
Yeah, and a whole genre about this, you know. But so I guess let's get into the cause of the movie. So I'm gonna break this into we'll talk about this in like 3 parts. It's the first act is the setup. So you have this teacher and he gives his student an F. And the student gets pissed, and he makes some comment like, maybe you'd be better off with crayons or something. You know, he makes some comment basically telling him that he's stupid. So the kid punches him in the face. Right?
Yeah.
He basically gets off and just punches him in the face. and the school's afraid to do anything because they say you're not allowed to give kids Fs.
And they said he provoked him or whatever.
Yeah, he provoked him, which he sort of did because he makes the comment. Like, he makes fun of him in class.
And he fucking headbutts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's a little,
But I'm curious. I'm going to ask you, Mike, because you have a child that's in grade school. Like, she's a little older now, but, like, when she was in school, was it, like, a big deal to make sure that the kids always felt like that they never lost, or they never failed, or they never... You know what I mean? Is this like a real thing?
This was not when we were in school.
Well,
no,
definitely not.
Not when we were in
now
school.
It's I wouldn't say it to that extent, but they try to keep everybody equal so nobody feels left out, which is all BS.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this movie's like a cautionary tale about that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
basically.
yeah, if you coddle your kids too much, they're gonna come back and like fucking.
They're gonna lash out. And
You're gonna lose control.
Yeah. So basically, don't worry
Killing
about
planes with weed.
don't worry about hard work and trying to get what you want and work for it. Just we're gonna give it to you because you deserve it.
Well, the whole thing in this movie is like they can't fail. Like if they fail, you have to give them
them a chance to
Yeah.
do it.
another chance after that.
Which is fine with. I mean, in that case, if they're willing to do the extra work to.
Yeah, but I mean, if you never like, here's the thing: like when you're at your job and you fuck up really bad, right? Your boss may say, "Okay, you fucked up. Do it again." You can't fuck up 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep saying,
Exactly.
all right, I'm not going to do it again. No, he's going to either let you go or put you somewhere else or whatever. So it's actually not that
makes
great
them think
of
that they just have an unlimited amount of
right,
fuck-ups.
conceptually,
that
if
they
you
don't.
teach your kid that. And I was thinking, I went to a birthday party recently. I'm getting off topic here because it's important to me to try to understand culturally why you would find this... like these movies exist in the UK because there's clearly some sort of fear that these kids, you're going to lose control of these kids. And,
Well, society there is different than here.
right. But I don't think it is because, well, this is my point now, or we're getting to this point where I was at a birthday party just last weekend and we brought presents or whatever, it's for a 6-year-old. And I said, all right, when are we going to open presents? The father looks at us and says, we're not opening presents. Well, you're at a birthday party. What do you mean you're not opening presents? We don't open presents in front of the kids anymore. What are you talking about? Well, because some of the kids might feel bad because they didn't give as good of presents as the other kids, or they might give a present that's the same as another kid. And then you have doubles, and then you have to
Really?
explain to the kid.
Wow.
Now, my thing was, listen, that the kid, now, we all grew up exchanging gifts like normal human beings. This is for the parents. Like, the parents feel like idiots. Because when the kid opens the present and the kid has a cheap gift, the parent feels bad.
Yeah, because
If
that
the
kid doesn't know.
yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. Like, you when you treat your young child like this, it's more about the parents.
It's exactly what it's about.
The parents feel bad.
So it's like if they're poor and they can't really afford something.
So the
you don't
parent doesn't
feel
want to
bad.
be embarrassed, but you put it on your kid.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens. And then
I would have loved that as a kid though, because I hate opening gifts in front of people.
Why?
It's just I find it awkward. I don't know.
What if?
I feel like I have to act excited for like shitty gifts.
Well, that's sort of the point, though, is that
Yeah.
we don't want to have to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, you know what? Yeah, sometimes feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I know it was never like that. Like even now, like if you guys know me, I'm very honest. Like
Right.
if I opened a present, it sucked. I'd be like, "Why did you give me this?"
It's just like when you're a kid and like your great grandma gives you like something. I don't be like, "Wow, this is shitty, grandma. Thanks."
I wouldn't
I
be.
I want to act
No, but-
appreciative, and
I wouldn't be that bad about
but
it.
it just
I
feels
would
like
ask
I have
you
to
for
put
the
on an
receipt.
act, you know?
Well, guess
It's all
what? You
fake.
know what that is? That's part of being in a society.
Yeah.
Like, you sometimes, you have to interact with others in a way that, is uncomfortable.
So you
or
know what you should have
You
did?
can't always avoid uncomfortable
Oh, no,
situations
I
in
know.
life,
What you should have did was when they cut the cake, just wait till everybody got a piece and went over to whoever's throwing the party and went, "How come they got a bigger piece than I did?" Like, they're like,
they
it
had
makes me
cupcakes.
uncomfortable.
Just walk over to him and take some
Ah,
cake.
so
off
they
their
were all
plate.
evenly shaved.
I swear it was cupcakes, yeah. I don't know, I off topic, but I think it's relative to this concept of,
Yeah.
like, I could see this turning into, in 10 years, these kids can't get Fs. Because you don't want to be embarrassed around the other kids, or you don't want to feel like you're less than the other kids. So that's just part of life, like,
Mhm.
you're going to grow up and you're going to get into a job in the real world, and what's going to happen, So, basically, I think we're supposed to feel bad for the guy, right? The teacher?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
You're supposed to have pity for him at least. He's
Yeah.
a pretty pitiful
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
the
Yeah,
first,
that's what I'm
20
saying. Like, he
minutes.
becomes a drunk. His
Yeah.
wife hates him. His daughter hates him. So, like, would you say
He smells too. Forgot
He
to mention that.
smells, yeah. But that's why I'm gonna kind of ask.
You
Is
say he smells?
Yeah.
They say that
When
yeah.
when the girl walked out, she's like,
Oh.
"Oh, he
He
smells."
smells, yeah. So like would you say he kind
Thought you
of
were just-
he kind of brings it
Not
on
trying to make
himself a
him feel
little bit
worse.
though, right? Like it's hard
Oh,
to feel
yeah.
bad for him at some point. I don't know, but you're supposed to, I guess, not like the daughter and all that.
He's super self-destructive, basically.
Yeah, but for a reason, you know. He's
Yeah.
like these fucking kids, you know.
Yeah.
I can't be a teacher because I'm not allowed to teach kids. Like all I have to do is treat them like they're little babies and just pass them through school and put them out into the world, and then
And now he's terrified of him because one got up and fucking
which is
headbutted
funny.
him.
Yeah, but he's not terrified because he thinks they're gonna hurt him. He's terrified because he knows that he can't do anything.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because when he got punched, he didn't seem scared. He was like, "You're not gonna let this kid come back, right?" He punched me in the face, and she's like, "Well, they're gonna press charges and this and that." So now he's afraid, like, I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah, that's why he's so docile after
Yeah,
that because he doesn't want to.
I don't think it's
confront
fear
him.
of the kids. I think it's fear of his own self, like his own self-preservation.
Yeah,
Like that's how I took it.
I think he has fear of the kids too now, though.
You know,
Because he sent
Maybe.
out that memo about like, you know, we need to check kids now for weapons and everything, and install metal detectors because.
true. That is true. Yeah, that is true. So I guess maybe somewhat.
Yeah, and I took kind of like, I guess maybe it's the subgenre, but the way I looked at it was, you know, there's these 5, you know, kids, they're faceless and hoodies, and that's just kind of like his, like, I don't know, inner demons. Like he's always afraid of like the random kid, you know, in the
that's
hall,
good.
like
Yeah, that's
just gonna attack him.
Yeah.
Because with the other guy, it happened so randomly and so fast. I mean, he just said one little comment and he got up and headbutted him.
right. He didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of how I took it, but
That's
it
an
could be
interest-
different.
Yeah, no, you could be right. That's an interesting way to take it, but I didn't see that, but you might be right. Yeah.
I mean, that's before I knew this was a whole subgenre. So.
Well, you know, it doesn't mean that it can't try to be a little smarter.
No, yeah,
than,
yeah.
You know, it can still fall within a genre and still try to be smarter than the genre. So the second act, so that's sort of the setup is he's basically, everyone hates him. Everybody thinks that he's got something wrong with him,
Yeah.
which is what's going to set up the whole, I'm trying to think of how to word the scenario, but like where no one's going to believe him,
Right.
you know, because
He's the crazy guy.
he's
now.
the
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
drunk. Who
And
the
it's
hell-
only happening to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's in his head. He's making
Yeah.
it up. He's nuts. So then the attacks start, and his daughter's in the school also because he keeps her for detention
Yeah.
so that he can spend time with her.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
like the
that's
most
weird,
pathetic thing
man.
in the
Yeah.
world.
But his
seriously.
daughter's such a bitch to him.
Yeah, she really
Like,
is.
why does he even want to spend time with her?
She says that too.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, the only reason you kept me for detention was so
Mhm.
you could spend time with me.
Yeah, and then she also says like,
Mom's never gonna want to get back together again
yeah,
with you.
mom told me. It's not like she didn't say like mom doesn't want. She's like flat out like mom said.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she doesn't want you around. And he fucking slaps her in the face.
Yeah.
You think that goes like hand in hand what we were talking about, where they don't want the kid to feel bad, so they coddle her or all the kids,
It's the same. Right.
and then she
Yeah.
lashes out, but she doesn't understand the
Right.
fact that she's hurting somebody else's feelings.
Right.
It
That-
only worries about her feelings.
That's what I'm saying. Is you never learn how to actually respect others' feelings or how to actually treat others because you've always been sheltered from it.
Yeah.
So you're always made to believe you're right. So
Yeah.
if you're never told you're wrong, if you never think you make a mistake, then that's probably how you're going to turn out.
Yeah.
And it's what you see with like celebrities and shit all the time.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Makes sense.
So the second act then starts like they're in the school and really just people. It's like slasher movie in a way. People just getting picked off one by one.
It's kind of interesting. There's just 5 of them though. You don't see that a lot. It's like
Five
different-
assailants,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
yeah.
all going after him.
It's hard to tell though at first, like because they all look the same, so it is hard to like tell. And you notice they move like really,
Slow and awkwardly.
They're almost like
yeah.
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 And how can they like? They're so agile.
They're almost like supernatural. Kind
Yeah.
of, you
Yeah,
know?
they're like aliens.
They're doing like
Aliens.
Yeah.
parkour or something through the school.
Yeah, parkour.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
like
what it
jumping
is.
on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he jumps on top of the bookcase or whatever, and he's
Yeah.
so quiet about it.
Yeah, and he
he's
can
just
like
crawling
hop
up there.
down and
yeah.
all that.
He comes down right on his toes so that nobody can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about the kills?
They were really good.
Yeah,
Like the first one was pretty crazy. Where the guy gets burned alive.
that one
And
was. Yeah, that was.
I really liked that one for some reason.
Why did I forget about that? Yeah, until you
That's
just-
That's a terrifying thing to think about.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
cruel
Christ.
too. Like it's cruel,
It
more
really
cruel
is.
than any of the other kills they really do because a lot of the other ones are quick.
Oh yeah,
Except for like the Tita.
like the really hot chick.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, she gets her. Yeah, we'll get to
Whatever. Yeah, we'll get to it. But
Yeah. Well, you don't really actually see any of the kills.
Yeah, that's
I
the
was
thing.
gonna say that. Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, because I've seen a lot of, especially B movies do it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's the after effect, because then you can use your own imagination on what
Right.
exactly happened.
Right, and
Which was
I
good.
would wonder, like, if that would, like, some people watching this today would probably be like, why didn't this, like you said, have watched a lot of older movies where they cut away because they either couldn't show it,
Yeah, it's budget.
or it's budget.
Yeah.
But here they're doing it. I think it's budgetary still, but it works because we're used to it. But I do think a modern audience may be like, kind of, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I was that a little bit. I was kind of like,
Yeah,
stop panning away. I kind of want
They
to
did
see
it on
it.
almost every kill, and when they didn't do it, a lot of times it went out of focus, so you couldn't see it.
Right.
So you could just get an idea. The one effect that they really do show in full detail is the chick that gets her face. What did they do to her?
They just like tore her chin up. Like,
Yeah.
she's basically
They,
like
like,
missing
ripped
half
her-
her face.
Yeah, they
or the
ripped-
whole lower jaw.
Yeah, I think the jaw. I think it was still like they ripped the skin off or something.
It was weird, right?
Yeah, and maybe cut her throat.
And it's crazy because she's still alive, like crawling on the floor.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
That was the one effect that they showed. And I wanted to ask you, did you notice a certain actress returned in this that might have been familiar to you?
Oh yeah, from
That
Dog
you and
Soldiers.
I argued about
Yeah.
for like 25 minutes.
I saw that. I was like, when she
Oh,
turned
really?
into a werewolf,
Megan,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
You know
That's
what's
gonna
funny
be the twist
too
at
is
the end.
I like she was like all the characters in this movie are like they're gonna die. Principal's a bitch. The security
Right.
guard's an idiot. Like everybody's forecasted to die, but her, I'm like she's really nice. Like
I thought that she was gonna be alive longer than she was.
have a bigger part in the movie.
Yeah,
And I
it
think
seemed
she's
like
a pretty
it.
good actress, and I was kind of like, I was kind of bummed when they killed her off.
The
so
one thing
fast.
that kind of bugged me in this was like, and it happened with her. They just obviously walk into like these terrible situations.
Yeah.
Like the guy he's mantic, and of course she thinks he's crazy that there's kids inside or whatever. But she hears noises behind her. It's an abandoned building. She's not gonna go invest. I know it's a horror movie
Right.
cliche, but it's so.
yeah,
They
you're right.
could have done it in a better way.
Most people probably aren't going to put themselves in the situation.
Oh, I'm gonna go walk into the dark maze
Right.
of books when
Right.
when someone's clearly like throwing pages at me and shit.
Right, yeah. And even if it were just a student like she thought it was,
Yeah.
she still probably
They don't have
would-
good intentions.
Yeah,
if they're,
exactly.
If they're there,
like you're still
seriously.
gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go get somebody.
Yeah.
You're right.
I know that's something you just have to look past in most horror movies, but
Especially
it
since
did
this
kinda
is
bug
a
me.
slasher scenario for most of it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's multiple people, but it's one getting picked off one by one.
And that happened with a hot chick too. Like she's gonna go into the gym like when they bounce the ball and shoot a hoop. Come on.
Yeah, I mean hers was a little bit more. She was there, like where
Yeah.
I mean, and then she was in the locker room. She didn't have anywhere to go, so it wasn't like she could easily get away. But yeah, it's weird because I'm not in the mindset of a teacher. Like if you were a
Right.
teacher and you're gonna be like just a kid, just a student.
Yeah, I guess.
Like it's just a student. They fuck with us all the time.
Yeah.
So like it's tough for me to be like, if they threw a ball at her, that she would immediately be like, oh, and like run away screaming.
No, I know.
She'd probably be like, get the fuck out of here. leave
Not
me
that,
alone,
but like
you know?
she goes and runs into the gym and like shoots a basket with it. It's just like if
I
you're
know.
there in a dark school, you're gonna walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But I did like how they like would tease them and stuff and like play with them, like
Yes.
throw the ball at them and stuff.
Yeah, that's the
But, like,
psychological part of
yeah.
it. Yeah, because it's like almost like, well, I guess it is a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it
Think
is.
about it, yeah.
And they use the setting in the school really well too.
School's a great setting.
Oh,
It really
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they use it like I talked about in the library where it's like stalking her up above in the bookshelf.
Yeah, and they use
it's
it
really
well.
cool.
In when they're like in that like it's like a storage or a warehouse or whatever. There's a scene in there where where that one dude is like the coach or whatever comes in and goes after him with a board.
Oh,
There's, like, those
I thought he was
really
like the
high
wood shop
shelves.
teacher. Or
Yeah, it's
something.
like
yeah,
they're in like the wood shop.
Yeah.
Like that's really good. And there's a bunch of stuff like that where they're really using the library. They use the library well.
Yeah, they do.
It's good. Now, what do you think about the two fucking most pathetic cops you probably? All right.
They go in all tough.
The
get
two
put
cops
on
show up and they're like,
stairs.
"Fuck yeah, this security guard's a joke. We're gonna go in and take care of shit," and they're killed in like 2 minutes. Like the one,
So
Yeah.
easy.
the woman I kind of understand because he blindsides her. She's going up the stairs and he like whacks her in the face and she falls.
Yeah.
The other
He
cop
doesn't even whack her in the face. He just like pushes
No.
her.
Yeah.
But she's sort of, and when she hits the floor, she's kind of like.
Yeah.
The other dude, someone is running at you full force in a hoodie, and you're like, "What?" You
With a
you're gonna
fucking
pull-
wrench in his hand.
In the United States, you do less than that, and you're gonna get fucking shot. You can run
Yeah.
away, and he's gonna shoot you in the back.
UK cops don't have guns though.
Well,
Yeah, they
They
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
So there you
Well, they're
go.
not technically cops.
They don't have guns at all.
They're just
UK
security guards.
cops.
I mean, I know that
Um,
they can
they
get
have
guns,
to have
but they don't walk
firearms.
around.
No,
with guns
no.
all
Regular. Don't quote me because I don't live there, but regular cops have
Yeah.
guns. But the cops that walk the beat and are on the beat don't carry
Hmm.
guns. They're not allowed to.
Well, all right. So maybe that
Right.
explains.
They're
it a
allowed to
little
carry
bit.
billy clubs.
Because I'm
and stuff.
thinking like this dude's running at him full fucking force, and he stands there. He doesn't even move.
I only know that from Doctor Who.
Probably Connor does too. That didn't. I didn't buy that. Like he at least would have like done something
Oh yeah,
besides just stand. Like the security guard's like, get out of here. And he like runs away like a coward. But
I understand why he would run away, but the other
he
guy
knew
is
what was
just-
going on.
Yeah,
I don't think he dropped a cigarette either.
I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't.
think he
notice.
still held on to
Yeah,
it.
probably. So let's go into the third act. And I mean, that's the whole second act. It's just kill, 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 kill.
Yeah.
You know, it's one after the other. Good, like we said, good use of setting. But it's all just they're all just victims. Third act. So before we talk about the third act, let's talk about Okay, I'll start with you, Mike. Where did you think the movie was gonna go? Like, how did you think it was gonna end? What did you expect from the movie at this point? Like, it's only him and his daughter left in the school.
Yeah.
So everybody else is dead.
So we're gonna spoil the end then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Spoiler alert. We have to. We have to. You can. The
Oh,
ending
yeah,
in this
no,
movie
yeah.
is so unexpected that you have to talk about it. But I want to talk
Yes.
about what you thought was going to happen because I have my idea. of
Here's this is exactly what I thought.
Okay.
So I thought that the teacher, which is the girl's father, right? I knew the mother was going to come back at some point, just by the way they kept,
Right.
reusing her verbally throughout the movie. So I knew she was going to come back at some
Yeah.
point. So my first thought was she's going to come back, they're going to see her dead, and then the father is going to go run out there, and then he's going to get killed too. The girl's going to be the only one left.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I thought, all right, well, no, they wouldn't do that. What's going to happen is the father's going to sacrifice himself,
Right.
save the girl, and the girl's going to run out of the parking lot into mommy's arms and off into the sunset.
that's what I thought.
Never
yeah.
happened either
No.
way. Yeah.
Originally, going into this movie, like when I heard the concept, I thought it was going to be similar to like Assault on Precinct 13,
Mhm. It
where
is
it's
a
going to
little
be
bit.
like
It is a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit. But they're going to be in like
Where
a
the
ghetto
motive
or
isn't
something.
clear. There's that
Yeah.
about it, right?
They're going to be in like a ghetto and like a bunch of thugs are going to come. But this was completely. I wasn't expecting.
Right.
Well,
So
like-
what did you think was going to happen though? Like exactly what he said? Did you think that he was going to sacrifice himself?
Yeah, I don't know. But I thought that they would be revealed at least.
Right,
Like
so-
it was going to be that kid from the beginning of the movie or something. That would be the typical thing.
This is what I thought was going to happen. It didn't happen at all. I had two theories. One was your theory, Mike, which was he was going to martyr himself. He was going to sacrifice himself for his daughter to basically make a point. And he's, he makes a point in a different way. But I thought he was going to kill these kids.
Yeah.
Like, these movies typically go the route of when it comes down to like the last, your final girl, whatever, he's the final
yeah.
girl. I know, it's weird, but he is.
Yeah.
He is going to confront these guys and he's going to have to fight them.
Right.
But it's interesting because it doesn't happen. He kills one of them
He's going to set up some
Yeah.
because he has to.
Home Alone style traps in the wood
Yeah,
shop
you know
or
what I mean? Like,
something.
he's
Yeah.
going to have to confront these
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and it doesn't happen. So my other thought was, oh, well, maybe they're going to set him up because they're going to murder everybody else and make it look like he did it.
Right.
That didn't happen either. But I don't know, I was surprised because the only one that gets killed is out of necessity because he stabs his daughter. So the guy runs up, stabs the daughter, and the father just goes apeshit and fucking kicks his ass.
Right.
And this is where, like, the ending, like, completely, I did not see this coming. Takes the daughter out to the car. They see the mother's car. And she's like, Mom's inside. You have to go get her. And he's like, if I go get your mother, you're going to die. I'll take you to the hospital. So that's what he does. And he leaves the mother. We see the mother one last time. Like, she hears the noise, and then it's done. The movie's done. And it's him bringing her to the hospital in his credits.
Right.
So what did you think about the ending you got?
I disliked it.
Okay, why? Is it okay?
So I think what they should have done was at least gave some closure. All right, we know that the daughter is going to survive. She's going to make it to the hospital, whatever. So when the credits roll up, give us like a newspaper article of how the mother was in there. Just give us some closure on what happened. Because who knows? She could have made it out.
Right. Right.
These people, they could have recruited her for all as we know.
That's true.
Put a hoodie on her. We don't know what
Yeah.
happened. So I didn't like that.
I was fine with that.
Yeah,
I
what's
kind
your
of
think?
liked it. I liked that it was open ended. Actually,
Okay.
I mean, I was satisfied by that point. I had seen what I wanted to see in the movie.
What do you think
and-
was the point of the ending? Like, what do you think they were doing? Why do you think they decided to have him do that.
Because the daughter was already mad at the father for everything else,
Right.
and she makes the comment,
I'm gonna
if
hate
you
you
leave,
forever.
I will never forgive you.
Right. I
And
think she
takes
says, I
off
will hate you
forever.
Yeah.
Right.
So she already hates
Right.
him. Now she's going to hate him forever.
Right.
So there's no closure whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down like kind of in the middle where I'm kind of like with both of you in a way. Like I was fine with the ending.
Yeah.
I wanted a little bit more. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I wanted a little bit more. And like I said, I didn't, because I was expecting it. Maybe if I went back and watched it now, I'd be happier with it because I don't know that. But I think, what they were trying to do was, so the whole movie is like about adults not being adults and kids basically running adults. And that last point is like him making a statement of,
I'm making the decision.
I'm the adult,
Yeah.
you're the child, and I'm going to do what's best for you. You're not going to tell me what is best for me and you because I know what's best. I think that's what they were doing, is like they were making a strong point of if he did what she told him to do, she's going to die, and he's doing the same exact thing that everybody else has been doing. He's going to take the risk that she's going to hate him forever because he knows that that's what needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because that's
Yeah.
what'll keep her alive.
Right. He
yeah.
knew that kid needed an F. He knew that kid needed to be expelled. So it all comes back to like he's just doing what
Ultimately, he's the one that's like getting treated like a child, kind of.
Yeah. And he's doing the right
Yeah.
thing every
he's-
time.
Exactly. He's the one. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
The role is reversed.
Right.
Whereas he's trying to be the adult, but they always are letting the child dictate what he does.
Right.
So at the end, he has the ability to be like, I don't care. Like you can hate me, but I'm not gonna let you die. So. But I am with you. Like, I think I would have been satisfied had he killed a few more of them, had he been a little bit more confrontational with them. I think it's more realistic that he's not.
That's because he would have got overwhelmed so fast.
Yeah, it's more realistic that he hides, that he runs, that he, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing about this movie. None of the characters have a chance in it, it seems. Like, a few of them are able to run, but they're just all dead. None of them really
None of
fight
them
back.
do. Like,
yeah.
none of them. And they're all, because they all are kind of oblivious, they all
Yeah.
don't think anything's going to happen, you know?
So do you think now, because this is like all these films are coming out, right?
Well, they came out, I think the genre has actually kind of died down. This came out in 2010, and it was like a period of time, I think, from like 2008 to like 2012. I don't know if they're still in that, but this was a big thing. Maybe it still is. I don't know, but
Yeah. I'm not saying just in the movie
Yeah.
in general, like say the characters in the movie, even in real life outside of the movie, when you have people in hoodies that are going to kill you. So in real life, when you see somebody in a hoodie, are you like that could have been the kid in the school? Like you just see a hoodie. At
And
that
I
point.
like that they didn't reveal, actually. Like, I was kind of bummed out at first when the movie ended
Right.
and they didn't reveal, but
Yeah,
I think it was
that
actually better.
Yeah, I didn't. that
Because
didn't
if you
bother
had
me at
saw
all.
like a kid behind that, it would have made it so less scary. You know, if they had ripped it off and it was just like a teenage kid.
Black Christmas, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So
Doesn't-
your point, your question though was like,
You know, like here, like we were just actually talking a little while ago. You know, we've seen so many horror movies. You adjust your car mirror, you expect someone to be there. You close.
so you're wondering
the
if
mirror
this,
in the
if
bathroom.
seeing this could alter your perception of people out in the real world.
Well, if it's going to be multiple movies based on the same thing, like if there's multiple hoodie movies,
I don't know.
do you think after a while over there, people are just like, they see a hoodie and they're like, oh,
Well, here's the thing: is I don't think I
You know what
touched
I-
on it, but the hoodie.
maybe
thing,
it sounds stupid. I don't know what
The
know
hoodie
what I'm saying.
thing
Like, yeah.
isn't
what you're
only talking about the hoodie, but it's talking about they're called hoods, which are their hoods are like bad kids, or like
Right.
little gang members. So the idea of a hoodie horror movie is hoods in hoodies. Like I think that's kind of where it is.
It's just like any random
So I think it
thug,
does
right?
exist already. Like I do think that this sort of exists, and there have been legitimate cases of kids in the UK and in Europe, whatever, like doing shit like this. So it's not something that's pure fiction.
I read a
So-
story about one that pissed in his teacher's coffee.
Yeah, yeah, I mean
That's
that's
from the UK.
right. It's there are
They don't
real
give a fuck
stories
over
that
there.
have come out of shit like this, of
Hmm.
kids killing their teachers, and yeah. So I think it might not even need the movie for them to look at them that way. It may already be in the news, and then the movie
true,
may
yeah.
reinforce it.
Yeah.
It's like they see the movie, and at that point they're like, "Oh my god!" Like they're running around.
It's just like every common street thug that you would run into. That's probably what
yeah,
it's
that's
supposed
right.
to
That's what it is. Yeah. You guys have anything else on the Expelled?
Nothing.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
definitely would.
Yeah, I would.
I would recommend it. Yeah, I think it's just be careful of the ending.
A lot of people are gonna hate the ending.
Yeah.
And that's what most of the reviews said. They hated the ending.
Oh yeah. What did you? So
That was most of the negativity.
yeah, I know you said
towards
you
it.
read some reviews.
Yeah.
It's a tough ending, man, and
It really
it's
is.
funny because if you watch the same exact thing with them, Eden Lake, these endings, it must be something about the genre. The endings are like
Unexpected.
yay or nay. Like you're gonna watch
Oh.
the movie, you're gonna be like, I like it, and you're gonna get to the end, you're gonna be like, I fucking hate it, or wow, that was awesome. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the viewer.
Well, it's like The Mist. It's an awesome movie, but everybody says they hate it because of the ending.
right. The ending's it's
Yeah.
divisive. But
It's hard to stomach.
it's one of the most difficult endings to watch in modern horror movies.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't an ending. Probably the ending of The Mist.
Not to start reviewing The
Oh
Mist
my
at the end
God.
of this.
But it's the same thing. And if you watch, I do want you at some point just watch them and watch Eden Lake, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Eden Lake in particular is like, I haven't been able to recommend the movie because the ending, I just can't get past it.
Really?
Yeah, I cannot get past the end. Like, I don't mean I can't get past it, like I can't watch it.
Right.
I can't, in my head, I can't accept it. So for me, it ruined it. You know, so I understand how an ending can ruin a movie, so. But that is The Expelled, and you can rent it for $1. So.
Is it worth $1?
It's definitely worth
It was worth
$1.
$1, yeah. It's good. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel through iTunes or Stitcher Smart Radio. And as always, you can find us on the web at midnighttriplefeature.blogspot.com, on Twitter at MTFeature, and on Facebook. And on Facebook. And on Facebook. And on Facebook.